Hello, welcome to the Jonah and Leandro movie podcast.
With Leandro and Jonah.
I'm Jonah.
And I'm Leandro. And this is our movie podcast. Today we're sitting down with Calgary-born, Toronto-based filmmaker Pony Nicole Herauf to talk about movies, filmmaking, and her debut feature film, Young Female Playwright.
We had a really great conversation with Pony about her new movie, her favorite movie snacks, and what it's like being a director. And yeah, it was just really fun. Pony and I are close friends and collaborators. I've worked on almost all of her projects, so it's really cool to have her on as our first guest and to talk to her. We hope you enjoy. Wow, this is so exciting. Our first guest.
Woo! Okay, I'm going to put
Hey,
this on
Victoria. You're typing, remember?
No, let her type.
She must not type.
You can be in a really, you're like, we're in such a busy publishing house.
We're at corporate office.
It's okay. I liked it.
It's a good ambiance,
I like
but
the ambiance.
I think if I was ever listening to a podcast and all I heard was in the background,
Yeah.
I might end it.
You'd be like, what the hell's going on?
God. But yeah, thanks so much for doing this. You're our first guest.
Woo! Thanks for having me.
We're here with Pony Nicole Herauf.
Hair off, like bald.
Like bald?
Hair off.
Hair off.
Hair off.
That's what I would, when I was a kid, how I would tell people to pronounce it. And I'd be like, hair off, bald, like my dad.
Great.
But that's probably like the, anglicization of the pronunciation. Like if I was being German, you'd go Herauf.
Herauf.
So you're slightly German?
I'm slightly German. My dad's parents were German.
Oh,
my
cool.
dad's mom, I guess. Yeah, I'll be the same, motherfuckers.
We've worked on a ton of movies together.
So many
I think I've
movies.
done almost like all of your movies. There's like a few that I didn't do.
And that's when we were fighting.
Yeah.
We're always fighting.
Yeah.
No, I
always.
think you've worked on a lot of my films that I've written and directed.
Yeah.
That's kind of what my vibe is mostly these days.
You also do other things. You're a writer, you're a director, you're a producer, you're an actor, you're a teacher.
Yeah. And I'm a Scorpio.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Woo! When's your birthday?
November 9th.
Oh my gosh, I'm the 5th. We
Nice.
should have a joint party.
Whoa.
Sounds good. I turned 30 this year.
You turned 30?
I turned 30. November, I turned 30.
I already turned 30.
How are you? Are
Last
you
November.
okay?
I'm fine.
Oh.
Okay, thank
No,
God.
actually, it's like there's a lot that's happening, but it's fine. It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I do those things you listed. I kind of wear every hat, as is the classic indie filmmaking life, where you're like, there's no money. I'll do the costumes too.
Is there anything else that you do? You kind of do everything.
Yeah, I do a lot of story editing. I do a lot of dramaturgy in theater. And then theater-wise, I work with a dance company in Toronto called Rock Bottom Movement as like a dramaturge, performer, not so much a dancer. I'm not really a dancer. They're amazing dancers, but I do some kind of support in that performance. And yeah, I do a lot of hanging out. And we were talking about food before the podcast was rolling. I do a lot of eating, thinking about food. And I have a dog. My dog is so small. He's awesome. You'd love it.
Incredible. What kind of dog do you have?
He's a Maltipoo, and he's like a disaster, but he's so cute.
Do you eat food with your dog?
Yeah, because I'm like eating on the couch, and then he's beside me really wanting to eat. And recently I'm doing a good job of sharing peanut butter with him. He loves peanut butter, so I'm eating like an apple with peanut butter, and then I let him lick the bowl after.
And you're from Calgary?
I'm from Calgary, born and raised, and then I moved to Toronto in 2014, which is when I would have met you at TMU.
Yeah.
At our famous university.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
We all went there.
Oh, you went to TMU too?
Yeah.
did.
For film?
Yep.
Yeah, he was in
same
my
year.
year.
What?
Yeah.
Well, we never met there.
I've never met you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so crazy though, because I feel like I knew most people in your year. Did you live in Res?
No.
Okay.
How many years above were you?
I was in the same year,
You're in
but
the
in
same-
acting.
Oh, in the
acting
So we know a
program.
lot of the same people.
We know all the same people.
Yeah. I want to start it off by do you love movies? Do you
I
love
lo-
going to the movies?
I love movies. I love going to the movies. I love watching a movie at my house. I'm kind of someone who I watch a lot of movies.
Hell yeah.
Where's your favorite place to watch?
Well, okay, my favorite place is the movie theater, and I love going to Varsity. That was my theater, but I will say I have a big issue with the one screening room. It's like when you go in and then you turn to the right. No, the big one, it's like the projector in there is bad. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The projector
really
is
big
bad.
one, like with
yes,
the
and it
seats that are
smells
flat.
like a toilet in there because it's near that second washroom.
Oh yeah.
So recently I'm having a big issue where I go to Varsity and if I find out the movie I'm seeing is in that theater, it like ruins the whole thing. I'm like so pissed.
But that's the film. That's the play things in 70, right? That's
Yeah,
70?
that's like the special one.
Yeah.
Or just like I saw like Parasite in that theater. Like I just unfortunately did watch Wuthering Heights in that theater.
I
Like
also watched Wuthering Heights in that theater.
I have not. I was told about the skin wall, and I decided to not.
yeah, it's like there's a lot going on in the film Wuthering Heights. And I don't know if it's good or bad.
You guys can
Me
talk
too.
about
I
it
didn't
a
know
bit.
if it was good or bad either. I liked it kind of, but then there was just a lot of things that bothered me.
Yeah.
And then I found out all the things that were like totally wrong with it from the book.
Well, the movie doesn't make any sense because she was like bravely deciding to be like Heathcliff is white. So then halfway through the movie, and I was with my friend Maddie, friend of the pod, Jonah's friend.
Maddie, we love you.
We love you, Maddie. I kept looking at her and I was like, I don't understand why she can't be with him. Like he's like now rich and hot. And then I left the theater and I called Jake, my lover in life, and I was like, I don't get it. Like, why couldn't they be together? And Jake's like, because he's not supposed to be white. That's the whole thing. So then I'm like, why did you make this movie? The story makes no sense. Was it fun because they had so much money and it like looks awesome? Of course. It's like candy. It literally is like a movie that's like candy.
Two of the hottest people on the planet playing
And
the leads.
They're hot. There's
Yeah.
no nude. They're not being nude though.
Yeah.
I was a bit like, take your top off.
But it's like Emerald
Me too.
Fennell sexy, you know, just like not her, but like the way she does movies.
Yes.
I find that like with Saltburn, it is
Yeah.
sexy in like a sort of you shouldn't like this kind of way. Is that the...
I get a vibe from her that she's kind of like read an intro to BDSM and is like trying to be freaky, but I go, girl, you ain't that freaky. Like it's not that. Even Saltburn, I'm like, okay, you're fucking the ground. Like do. Saltburn, I also had my issues with.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, but when a movie is like that and it looks amazing, like of course I'll watch it. And for the culture, I'll kind of see any movie for the culture, even if it's terrible.
Yeah, you have to be there.
Yeah, I can't miss Wuthering Heights. I'm like, everyone's mad or happy. So like I have to go and kind of take a temperature check.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when you go to the movies,
Mm-hmm.
what's your go-to movie snack order?
Oh,
No restrictions. You have a gift card for as much as it is worth.
That's
you
awesome.
walk in.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is a treat day. What are you doing?
Okay. Years ago, when I was so sad, when I used to be someone who had depression and I was like always going through a breakup, I would go to the movies by myself in the afternoon alone. I would do an edible and I would get an Americano. And that was my movie snack.
An edible and an Americano.
An edible and Americano. Now I will say I want a coffee at a movie. And I'm not getting a coffee there because that's bad coffee. I'm getting a coffee beforehand and I'm bringing that coffee in.
They let you bring it in?
Yes, and my thing is if they said no, I would go like, what? Like, and also they don't care. They're like, we make $21 an hour. Like, we're not going to tell you to not bring the coffee in. I'm bringing in that. I'm going to the grocery store below the Varsity Theater beforehand.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing in like a sparkling flavored coconut water, some kind of like weird healthy snack. Like I like a chip that's like, this is a vegan protein puff. Not because I also don't want a regular chip, but I'm like, I want that. Some weird sort of chocolate thing. Popcorn, sometimes. I don't need popcorn at a movie. And sometimes it makes me feel sick because it's like you eat so much of it and then you're like, why did I eat so much of it?
I have that problem every single time.
You have the popcorn issue.
Every time.
Yeah, and like my lover Jake is like obsessed with popcorn. Like he loves popcorn, and sometimes I'm like, let's go to the movies. Let's not get popcorn. I go, let's not get it. It's so much money. Who cares? Let's not get popcorn. But like he needs to have popcorn to see the movie.
It's ritualistic. I kind of feel the same
You
way.
need the
Even if
popcorn
I've
for the
just had a
movie.
meal, I'll be
Yeah.
like, I'll get a small, you know?
Right? It's like you just need something little sometimes.
Yeah, give me like a weird sensation to just be, I don't know, doing something in the background while I'm watching
You
this
have
thing.
to have something. Although then it's interesting when you go see a movie that then gets intense. Like I remember when him and I went and saw Zone of Interest. Like everyone has their popcorn. Everyone's like zooted up, ready to go. And then 10 minutes into the movie, you just hear everyone like put their popcorn on the ground. And everyone's like, oh, we can't actually be eating popcorn during this film.
Yeah, I felt that way.
I'm
with a
like
couple
eating
movies.
popcorn. We're watching like people get put into an oven and
Yeah, like so crazy. You're like, this makes a lot of sense. But to me, I'm so bring your own snack to the movie.
Okay. Yeah.
And maybe a couple of years ago, I would be say even like you can bring a beer. You can go to the LCBO. You can bring a beer to the movie.
Ooh.
You can bring a beer. You can bring like a little margarita in a can. Or if you're going VIP, you can actually purchase the alcohol there.
It's true. I
Oh,
do
yeah.
love a good VIP
Yeah, the
or like
VIP.
Alamo Draft House situation.
Okay, so I've never been to an Alamo Draft House.
What is-
You would
that's in
love
the
it.
States,
You would-
right?
yeah, it is.
But my movie is screening at an Alamo Draft House in California.
Incredible.
Cool.
So I'm kind of like, but I'm Googling it and everyone's like, the burgers are so crazy.
The burgers? See, the burgers are crazy.
Like just the reviews, people are saying the burgers are crazy, which
Well,
I'm anti eat a burger in a movie. I think that's fucked up.
Yeah,
I
that's a
agree.
little,
Yeah.
Well, we kind of did that.
But the one time, the first time I ever went to an Alamo Draft House, I was seeing Avengers Endgame.
Okay, crazy.
And it was like this whole thing. I was just in Texas for work, and then I was like, I have to see this movie.
Yeah.
The day it comes out, so I was like, screw work, I'm going to go to the Alamo. They had a burger, and I was like, okay, I'll do the burger because it was like a
It's
Thanos
there.
burger or
Yeah.
something.
Awesome.
They perfected the movie burger because
It's
there
good.
was no dripping, but it was still juicy.
There you go.
It was like one hand
Yeah.
on the burger kind of situation. It was great. So
Was it shaped like the Thanos?
they're not
glove?
that
What is
creative.
They're not. They could have done the burger with like a stick coming out of it.
Or like the
burger on a
little-
stick.
The,
Burger.
the like stones.
That would have been cool.
The
Just like
Infinity Stones.
it's like a
Yeah.
pickle, ketchup, mustard.
Yeah.
That's actually clever.
That would have been good.
Yeah, well,
but then it would have been a mess to eat. They figured it out. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
That's impressive. I didn't really realize that food at the VIP was a thing until the first time I went to a VIP movie, obviously. And then like to have someone be eating like a full order of chicken fingers next to you is so crazy.
Yeah, it can be distracting. I feel like you have to balance your choice at a movie
Yeah.
between like, do I want to be quiet during this movie? Like, I'd love a dog and nachos,
Yes.
but am I going to do nachos at like zone of interest? No,
No, you're
because
not.
it's so sound focused,
Yeah.
and you cannot
Yeah.
just be like
You're like,
just
"Oh,
waiting for
oops."
the moment.
My biggest pet peeve
Is
is
the
like
crunch?
hearing
Because you're a
people
sound
make
guy. You're
noise.
listening for the
I
sound.
hate it. Or like at least pick the times that you're gonna make noise, like not during
Yeah.
a quiet like dialogue scene.
It can make it feel like a fun party, though, in a sense. Like when I went to see One Battle After Another, we got Shake Shack before and brought that
That's
in.
fun.
And then all of the dudes in the row beside us also had Shake Shack. And everyone was like screaming, laughing, like eating their burgers so loud. And I was like, this is just like someone's birthday party.
Yeah.
Like, that's fun.
I feel like that movie lends itself to that. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, they're talking about like dismantling hierarchies and like the patriarchy. I'm like, okay, so I can have my burger here at Yonge and Dundas Square, please.
Why that movie theater? I avoid that one at all
I
costs.
know.
But
It's-
sometimes it's like the only one that has the time that
That's
you
true.
can go.
I know. I was almost going to be going there last night to go see Nirvana the band, the show, the movie, but I didn't.
I still need to see.
I
that.
still need to see it too.
So
I'm
much
going to go
fun.
this weekend. I'm going to go to the Fox. You guys ever go to the Fox
Oh,
Theater?
I love the Fox.
not.
I
Okay,
went for
I'm
the
new.
first time.
Yeah.
We saw this movie called The Coral there,
Oh, cool.
and it was amazing. Such a cool theater.
Also, it's amazing. I love it. There's only one screen. There's one screen, and the bathrooms are in the room, and they play the sound, so you're not missing anything. I saw Marty Supreme there
That's
on
so smart.
Boxing Day, and
Oh.
it was like so fun.
Oh my gosh.
So maybe I'll go there this weekend to see
Cool.
their Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
I worked with Matt Johnson once.
Nice. Were his pants up or down?
They were up.
Have you seen the pictures?
I need
No.
context.
He is wearing gray sweatpants and he's pulling them. Sorry, hit the table. He's pulling his sweatpants to go just under his knee.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
they're-
yeah, I've seen that.
He like
Yeah,
rolls his
yeah,
sweatpants
yeah,
up and then
yeah.
wears like regular
Yeah.
shoes. And it's so crazy.
That's his energy, I guess.
That's like a medical mystery to me where I go
Yeah.
like, do you know this looks crazy? And you're just like, fuck it. Or like, do you love this? Like, is this just your style?
I think he loves looking crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
I have to say though, the way he dresses is great for putting a mic on.
I have like sound trauma with you where I'm always being like, and then they're going to be wearing this extreme leather jacket. They're topless underneath. The pants are like this. And I'm like, so good luck. But you always figure it out.
Yeah, we always make it work.
You can
Yeah.
lab anything,
I mean, sometimes it's also just like booming it and forgetting the laugh.
which is very true. Sometimes you have to forget
But
the laugh.
yeah, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, we've done a lot of things where the costumes are crazy.
The costumes are always crazy. Okay, let me burp.
Okay.
I also can never stop burping on
Into
a podcast.
the mic next time, please.
Okay, I'll make sure I
think
go
that'd be good.
right in
Yeah,
there.
that's what the foam is
That's
for.
what people come for.
Is the
It's
burp?
just the burping.
Yeah, all the people, all 12 people listening.
I kind of want to ask about your favorite movies. So, like, what are some of the movies that got you interested in filmmaking in the first place? And
Yeah. As a kid, I feel like my family watched really kind of like, I don't want to say basic movies, but like basic movies. I also grew up with 2 older sisters. So to me, it was always like, we're watching Mean Girls, we're watching John Tucker Must Die, we're watching A Walk to Remember, like that sort of genre. But then at the same time with my brother, we were really into Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and James Bond. And it wasn't until honestly probably like university where I really kind of branched into more alternative types of film. And I'm always talking about this with my partner because he'll be like, you haven't seen this Scorsese movie? And I kind of go, well, when you're a girl and you're little, no one tells you to watch a Scorsese movie. So as a girl who is for the first time watching like a lot of Scorsese this year, and I'm like, damn, this guy rocks. Like I'm really late to everything. Like I saw The Godfather last year and then I couldn't stop asking people if they'd seen The Godfather. And the resounding answer is, yeah, that's you.
Ask me if I've seen it.
Have you seen The Godfather?
No.
Oh my God, you're going to love it.
Isn't that crazy?
Sorry, it is crazy, but it's one of those things where you think it's going to be such a slop to watch the thing everyone likes, and then you're watching it and you're like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't watched it because I don't think it's going to be good. I haven't watched. Like, there's so many movies I haven't watched. I also haven't seen a bunch of Scorsese movies. I watched Casino for the first time.
Me too, like last week.
I've never seen it.
You gotta watch Casino. It's
It's
like
crazy.
maybe one of my favorite movies.
Crazy.
But so I kind of started with movies that were not so exciting or like exploring. And the stuff I'm into now, like where I feel really tuned into as a filmmaker, I'm like a big fan of the like weirdo Norwegian guys. Like I love Christopher Borgli, who did Sick of Myself and Dream Scenario, and he has this new movie coming out, The Drama, which who knows if it'll be good. But I love Sick of Myself. I'm a huge Mike Nichols fan, so anything that's kind of in like a mid 80s. Anything with Jack Nicholson, anything with Meryl Streep, that's really where I like love movies. I love when it's like a woman with a beautiful kitchen and she's like pulling leftover chicken out of the fridge and she's just like, we just have this. Like, I don't know. I'm like a new Cassavetes fan. So I'm kind of getting into that as well. I'm like discovering, I love a lot of 70s and 80s stuff. But I think some of the movies that first made me want to be a director, I mean, honestly, as a kid was The Rookie, that like baseball movie.
Oh, yeah.
That I have to say doesn't hold up. You rewatch it, it's so crazy. But I like always talk about the idea of the like afternoon movie feeling where you go see a matinee and then you leave the theater and it's still bright outside and you're kind of hopped up on Mountain Dew. And I remember leaving that movie as a kid, literally hopped up on Mountain Dew because that was the first day I ever had Mountain Dew because they were like passing out cans of it in the parking lot as a promotion. So like Mountain Dew was new to me also that day. But I remember leaving and like my heart just racing and feeling like I have a new personality and like I'm like that and like I'm a storyteller and I love this thing. And so as a director now, my main kind of goal in life is to give people afternoon movie feeling and to like make people feel really excited and make a movie that when you walk out, you're just like, oh my God, that was so crazy. Or like, I fucking hated this. Like this sucked, whatever. But to give people stuff to be excited about in kind of like a fun way.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. So that there's this very specific magic when you see movies as a kid in that perfect environment.
Yeah.
You're like, I latched onto this feeling. I still remember what it feels like in a very like under the skin kind of way. You're just trying to replenish that in the world, you know?
Yeah. I want to make stuff that when people watch it, it either is like so stupid that you are just outwardly like, what the fuck are you talking about? Or like really beautiful kind of sweet moments where you're like, that movie like hurt my feelings. Like it made me feel sick when I watched it. I remember the first time I watched Her, which is funny now because it's just like the AI. I'm kind of like, that's just like Chat GPT. Like it is just whatever, it's here. But I remember the first time I watched that movie, I like felt like someone had like broken up with me. Like I was so deeply moved by that movie in first year university. And I kind of went, oh, like you can do this. Like you can make people feel that way. You meaning the universal you.
Yeah.
Like it can exist.
And that's such a special movie too. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's so good.
Like that soundtrack. I mean, it's been said before, but my God,
It's
that Arcade Fire
really-
soundtrack is.
Oh my gosh, I know. I haven't rewatched it in a long time because I'm kind of terrified it's not going to be good. Also, I will say, like, I'm not a movie rewatcher. I'm not really. I'm kind of like I watch it once and I go, I love that, and then I never would need to see it again.
Yeah, I feel like there's a group of people that are like that, and you know, I feel like I'm definitely a rewatcher.
You watch movies
You're a
over again
rewatch.
all the time.
In the theater,
Yeah.
I'll try to see something 2 or 3 times
He
if I
saw-
really love it.
He saw Sinners 3 times.
Oh, really?
I did in 70.
Ooh, it's certain movies. The last time I saw movies multiple times in the theater, I saw Parasite 3 times in the theater. For some reason, I was just like, I need to keep watching this. And then I saw Uncut Gems maybe like 3 or 4 times in theaters.
Well, that's
I
a
like
big
don't
one.
know why I needed to
What?
do that.
That's a crazy movie.
That's a hard watch.
It's a hard watch, but I think I was just like so amazed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you can do that as a director. Like it's awesome when you see a movie and you go like, oh, I didn't know you were allowed to do that.
Yeah. And you were hyped up on Mountain Dew when you were watching that movie as a kid, and you were hyped up on Anxiety
Yes.
leaving the Safdie Brothers
Yes.
movie. I think it's the same sort
It's
of
the same.
getting hyped.
I feel like Mountain Dew is equivalent to Anxiety.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't pay me money to drink Mountain Dew now. I'm like, the color of that is so fucked up.
I've
But
never
You just don't pour
had
it-
it.
you can you can
I
give
don't
it a
drink
skip.
pop.
You've never had a Mountain
Oh,
Dew?
yeah.
No,
you're
I
not
don't.
a soda
I'm not
guy.
a soda guy.
Next episode of the pod.
I've never had Coke.
What?
That's not true.
It's true.
That's so
I
crazy.
think I've
Do
had.
we have to
I think
cancel
I've
the
had.
podcast?
I think I've had root beer. I've had ginger ale.
No, the Coke thing is crazy. It's like you might be the only person in the free world who has never had Coke.
It's because when I was
It's like the most universal drink.
I'm an iced tea guy.
Like a Nestea guy?
Any kind
Or
of
like a
iced tea.
Fuse?
Anything.
You should have a soda sample episode.
Anything.
Well, I do want to do a movie snack episode.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like Coke though is so like culturally relevant. Like it's just, it's you go to any country in the world, like you can get a Coke. Like
Yeah, you can't get an iced tea everywhere. Like in
can't-
the States, they don't. Like it's like
No.
weird.
Get a
You
sweet
can't.
tea.
but
you
I
can't-
like the sweet. I don't like iced
I
tea in
don't
Canada.
like.
The sweet
I
tea,
hate
that
it.
shit
I
rocks.
hate
Like a
it.
Raising
I just want. I
Cane's
want
sweet tea?
Ooh, I
I
love
just
that.
want like a Fuse or Nest, whatever brisk. Like I just want the sugary.
Oh, I'm like
tea,
anti-brisk.
Like,
Like I don't want that.
I'm not. Brisk tastes chemically to me.
I know, I
don't know
can't
what it
do
is.
the
It's
I,
brisk.
like a
I
little-
like the Fuse is good or iced Nest tea.
You ever have a
whatever.
Diet Coke?
No, I've never had any kind of.
That's
Coke.
my vape.
Of course, a Diet Coke is also a
A
bit.
DC is my vape.
It's a bit my vape, and I'm always like, well, there's no sugar. And I'm like, no, it's obviously terrible for you. But when I worked as a server for a long time, around like 7 p.m., it would be what I like to call Diet Coke o'clock, which maybe Maddie invented that phrase and I'm borrowing it. But then I would have a Diet Coke at 7 p.m. because it's like you've already had your coffee in the morning, your espresso when you got to work, 7 o'clock, you got to lock in for the next 4 hours, you have a Diet Coke.
That's it. It's the one drink that's always in my fridge, and it doesn't last long because me
No.
and my girlfriend will go through it so quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about you.
I
That's like,
know.
this is actually so crazy.
Yeah.
I
But
love that.
it works. I think it works. Wear it like a badge. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink coffee.
That I think I knew about
think-
you,
yeah.
which I also am a bit like, are
like-
you okay?
Well, yeah, I'm fine.
What's
It's
your
like
vice?
Overnights are difficult,
Oh yeah, that's true.
but I get through
yeah,
it.
do you have a vice?
Probably sugar, like
candy?
sweets, like anything, like sweets, candy, like chocolate chip cookies, like
I like
Yeah.
that too.
like on the union sets, the craft tables are crazy.
They're, like, amazing.
And after lunch, there's always tons of candy and sweets
awesome.
and baked goods, and it's so hard not to eat. Like some days I'm like, screw this, I deserve it, and then
And you do.
and some days I'm like, no, I'm gonna be a good boy, and but it's so hard.
It's one of the worst things about being on a movie set is like the food is always so. I like have a big issue with food all the time on a film set where I'm kind of like, none of this food feels healthy, and then it's like I can't poo. Sorry to say poo on the podcast.
That's okay.
No, this is a poo.
But it's
safe
like I
zone.
can't poo.
Yeah.
It's
That
like,
happens to me too.
when I'm directing a movie, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to poo for the next 6 days because like I can't. When do I have time to do that? And also my body's like so intensely stressed out.
Yeah.
Like it's just not going to happen to me.
Maybe that's your secret to great directing is just you hold it all in.
I just
you
get
know?
full of it.
Did you guys have any overnights on Young Female Playwright?
No, I don't think technically. I feel like we maybe went to like 3 a.m. Sometimes as a director, my dream is to make a set that doesn't feel horrible to be on a really practical level a lot of the time. And I'm kind of like, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can like show up to an overnight shoot as a director and be like nice and fun and amicable and like smart and take care of things if I'm like tired and feel sick. Like, I don't think I can do that. It's like not part of my culture.
That's why I love working with you.
Because I'm like, I actually am kind of like, I don't believe in that. Although I will say I'm writing a grant right now for a different movie where it's like we probably would have to do one overnight, but don't worry, I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Yeah, sometimes it has to be done.
Yeah.
But I hate when it doesn't have to be done and we do it.
Yeah.
Like when you're shooting inside and it's like, oh, we need to see the outside and it's dark. It's like, no, you don't. Just make it black or do a fucking green screen or whatever.
Or put a light at the window. Like there's so many options.
Is it really worth?
There's always so many options.
Yeah, it's like, is it really worth like making us suffer so you can see some stupid fucking lights outside? Anyway, that's
spoken like a true sound recordist.
That's my.
There's no DOP.
That's my anger. That's my anger.
I support that. I support that anger.
I wanted to go back to Calgary and ask.
Come meet my mom.
Okay. What it was like, I guess, growing up there, and like, how did you get into like wanting to act or direct or do filmmaking or whatever it was? Like, well, yeah.
Calgary is kind of a funny place because it is actually like they love Western culture there. Like you go downtown, like have you been to Calgary ever?
I have, yeah.
Right? It's like so crazy. Like there are just like horse statues everywhere. And like when you get off at the airport, like the volunteers are wearing cowboy hats. Like it is very cowboy centric, which is funny. And I like think that's so funny and awesome. Like I'm kind of down for the Western of it all. I mean, I grew up in the suburbs, which is very just like typical white family, white suburbs. But I started taking an interest in, I guess like art and performance in general. I saw a play with my mom, like a community theater production of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which obviously I was watching and I'm like, this shit rocks. Like I just thought it was awesome. And then I was 6. And then the next year my mom's like, okay, we're going to have you audition for the theater company. And then I like got a part and I ended up doing, I think I did maybe like 20 shows over the course of like age like 7 to like 17 when I was there. So I did a ton of theater growing up. I was like always doing theater. I did like a little bit of film and TV stuff because they shot so much stuff there, but like very minimally. Like I was like the body double for someone when they were doing like a Little House on the Prairie remake. So I did like really sketchy background work for like, we did this like Bollywood film where I remember they like had a real gun and they like came to the parents and they were like, so we do have this real gun. And like, I just like have a memory of my mom being like, what? Like blah, 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 blah. And all the parents are kind of freaking out. And I'm 7 and I'm like, just let them do whatever. Like it's for the movie. Like I just like thought it was so cool. But I was a big fan of Dakota Fanning, obviously as a child, which when I feel like a girl our age, you like grew up kind of being the same age as Dakota Fanning. So like watching the movie Uptown Girls was like so heartbreaking for me that I wasn't Dakota Fanning in that. It was really difficult.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm still not Dakota Fanning, but I'm trying to get there, really trying to get there.
Maybe Elle.
Maybe Elle.
Maybe an Elle.
Oh my
Just
God,
having a
imagine.
moment.
I love them. And like, they're so cute when they're hugging on Instagram. They're like, we're sisters. I go, that's awesome. But yeah, I knew I always wanted to work as an actor, but I did have an interest in directing in the sense that I feel like a lot of directors do, which is when you're 10 and you like make your friends make a YouTube video with you where you're like, so here's what we're going to do. And I'm being like so annoying. And then we're on like Windows Movie Maker after, and I'm adding the transitions. I'm like, this is so funny. Like this is our sketch show. So I did a lot of that. When it came time to think about university, I was really stressed out because I kind of went, oh, but there's so many things I like doing. I also like loved writing. I was like interested in fashion, blah, blah, blah. Not that you could tell. Oh, it's not a visual podcast. Good. Because I'm kind of like, I've been wearing these clothes for many days.
So head to toe gown that you would see at the Met.
I'm looking so beautiful. It's hard.
Full glam.
Everyone's worried about me because I have a full glam on a wig on.
It's purple.
Thank you. And it's a really beautiful shade
It's
of
really
purple.
nice. Yeah, thank you for dressing it.
Thanks,
I
guys.
really appreciate
You look
it.
really good too. I like your little costumes.
Thank you.
Like Keebler elves.
Do you like the nose that I'm wearing?
Yeah, it's long, like a Keebler elf.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Keeps bumping into the mic.
Yeah.
But
It's
What's
good.
a Keebler elf?
A Keebler elf?
Keebler elf.
like the little...
Like they're little elves. I don't know. They like make
They make
cookies.
Krispies?
Yeah, they made like Rice Krispies, or they're like
They have red hats.
Yeah, they're little
Oh,
elves.
okay, yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really know.
I love those.
What I wanted. Thank you. What I wanted to do specifically, and my parents did kind of the classic move where they said, "You can do whatever you want." They were very nice. My mom spent many hours driving me to rehearsal my whole life, and then she was like, you have to get a degree." And that was kind of my big thing. And then I like didn't know what TMU was, because there's like not so much of a culture in terms of like knowing about that stuff in Calgary. I guess like I like applied to TMU and went and did my audition and met all of these other actors there who were like, "I'm applying to 30 schools. This is my 15th audition." And I was looking around like, I didn't know that was a thing. I'm like, this is the only place I'm trying to go to. I just like heard about it at like a high school career fair and was like, I guess I'll go to this one. Like, who knows? And then that worked out, thankfully.
Nice. Yeah, we don't have that same sort of like college or university like culture in Canada as you do. Because leaving high school, I had a similar come up as you.
Yeah.
As like was an actor, went to an arts high school, and then did that thing and making YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And
Are you
end
from
up-
Toronto?
I'm from Toronto. Yeah.
You went to ESA?
No, I went to Cardinal Carter.
Cardinal Carter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Up in North
probably,
York.
Okay. I know them, the people that you know.
Yeah, the university culture isn't really the same because
Yeah.
I mean, like Ryerson at the time, as it was called, was my first pick. But
Yeah.
then, if I had gone back now, there's so many schools in the States. Not that we could necessarily afford them, but like
Yeah.
looking at NYU or like
Oh,
AFI
totally. Yeah.
back then would have been sort of a game changer.
Of course. It's just like, I don't understand how people knew that existed.
Yeah.
It just wasn't like a part, like, I feel like my family didn't know about that. Like, none of my siblings like really work in the arts. So they were like, well, we're going to social work university. And I was like, well, I guess I'll get my acting degree at this like one school I heard about. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, for me, it was, well, I like started doing movie stuff in like grade 4 or 5, like
So cute.
doing like stop motion
Yeah.
claymation stuff. And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
I was like, I'm going to film school. Like I knew in
Yeah.
like elementary school, like I'm going to film school. I think
Yeah.
I heard about TMU in like grade 7 or 8. And
Oh my gosh, it was like your shining beacon.
yeah, so like I knew that's where I wanted to go. And so for high school, I based everything around that. So like I did like no science, no math. Like I did all
Yeah, 'cause
this,
you're like, I don't need this,
All
screw
I
it.
need, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then yeah, I applied to other like schools too, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why I thought.
And then when you got there, were you like, this is it?
Yeah, we met each other and he was like, this is the moment.
He's like, this is
Yeah,
like, I just wonder. It's funny because I remember meeting so many people in your film school. I just remember one of your first assignments is like you shoot on film and everyone has
Yeah.
their like light meters. And I was in like so
Yeah,
many
yeah.
people's like shitty little movie where they're like light metering or whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everyone was like, we hate our film program. But also I've just realized, especially now because I teach at TMU, I'm like, oh, you're just angsty. Of course. You're
Yeah.
like 19 years old and you're like, fuck this sucks. Everyone just like
Yeah.
thinks everything sucks.
after meeting other people who went to other film schools, is that they're all kind of the same. Like they're all
Totally.
the same. Like I wouldn't say there's one that's like better than another. Like they all have their pros and cons, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like with TMU it was like a big one was like the gear that we had access to.
Yeah.
And
At the cage? Yeah, I know
yeah,
the cage.
I worked there.
You did?
Yeah, I worked there for
Oh my
like 3
gosh.
years or something.
The cage was
Yeah, I
so
worked- yeah.
crazy. I spent like
Yeah.
many hours like standing beside whatever like young boy whose short film I was being in. And like, we gotta go get our stuff at the cage. I'm like, this is so cool. You guys have a cage. We
Oh
don't
my
have that.
God.
Yeah, it did feel very surreal. I didn't use it as much as I should have. I was only ever taking gear out for the school projects. And if I
Yeah.
could go back, I think I might have used it a lot more because I know people who did.
Oh, I took advantage, especially working there. I could like just like,
Get the
oh,
best
I'm gonna
stuff.
reserve
Yeah.
this for me. I'm reserving this, and
Everyone's like,
I
why is
would-
the best gear
I would,
always
like,
reserved?
Oh my
Why
God.
is it
I
always
would
gone?
take stuff out all the time,
That's awesome.
and then of course the sound stuff when I got into sound, and
It's funny because the TMU film program is actually like a big part of the reason I became a director, even though I did not go there, which was namely because I was doing all of these like kind of bad student films. Some of them okay, most of them like, I mean, they're student films. Obviously,
They're
it's
bad.
like
It's
like
okay.
like the plays were any better. But I would go and be on these sets and work with some of these directors, and some people awesome, like people like you who I still work with to this day. But then some people who I'd have such a bad experience on their set where I would sit there and be like, imagine if this was my set, like what would I do instead? Like how would I do this thing? And I was trying to co-opt my way into getting to make a thesis film. This is where I'm like, honey, get a grip. Because I had a friend who was in the film program and I had written this script. It was the first short I ever wrote. And he was like, we could make this and like it could technically be my thesis as the producer, but then you direct it, blah, blah, blah. And I like had like many emails exchanged with the head of the film program, and they like had the script reviewed and they reviewed all this stuff. And we were like one vote no from getting to do it. And I was so close to getting to make a thesis film for the film program while in the acting program. But then as soon as I graduated, I was able to like trick the university kind of into like giving me a huge grant to then make that film, which was my short, like my first ever short.
Which one was that?
Which was Breaking Up for the Modern Girl,
Oh,
which you
cool.
were working on.
Yeah, I did the post sound for that.
You did the
one.
post sound for
Yeah.
that, which is like, you didn't do the sound on set. I will say whoever recorded the sound, like they'd never done sound before. It was one of those things where it's just like some nice guy. And I was like, hey, Colin, like, can you just hold this for a bit? And he's like, I don't really know what I'm doing. But I feel like I got to
good.
take advantage of the film program. And also because I was friends with so many people in it and like had access to like what you guys were all talking about. And what you're like, this is what we learned about in our class. And I'm like, that's so cool. I'm like secretly taking notes the whole time.
That's perfect. And yeah, that's a good like tactic to like be on sets and being like, I learn what I don't like and what I do like.
I think that's like how you have to learn
Yeah,
to be a
absolutely.
director, especially like coming like from acting.
Mm-hmm.
As you probably had this experience too, where sometimes I would have a director be like, so the camera's here and cry, action. And you're like, what? Like, but what is this? Like, how do you want me to do all of this? And it really kind of informed the way that then now as a director, even though I work as an actor now, I think I'm so much better working with actors because I know how I like being directed and what I don't like in being directed. So now before any project, I talk to my actors and I go, hey, you tell me what you like. Because some people like want you to really give them every little detail. Some people are so offended if you give them directions. Some people are like, I want a word, I want a color. Like you got to kind of go through and be like, what do you want and how do you work? Because at the end of the day, you're going to be your performance. I'm just like doing my best to shape it into something that I also want.
Cool. Do you have a preference between acting or directing?
I like directing more than acting, which I think I always have. Also, my big thing is that when you are an actor, like everyone's always touching you. You're like kind of just being touched at all times. It's like they're doing your makeup, then they put the lav on, and then you're changing, and you have to be like, oh no, come in, it's fine. Like there's just like so many people up in your business. And as a director, there's people also up in your business, but it's like not quite as vulnerable and like no one cares like what you look like.
And they're not touching you.
They're
They
not
shouldn't
touching
be.
you. And if they are touching you, I'm like, okay, like something's gone wrong.
It's just me being like, can we do this instead for the sound?
Yes.
We have to wait for this thing because of
Which
the
is
sound.
It's true when I'm directing. It's a lot of, I'm like, the take's perfect, we're moving on. And then Jonah's like waving me over and you're like, we're not moving on. It was really bad. And I go, sometimes I go, okay, we'll do it again. Other times I look at Jonah and I go, hey man,
That's all we got.
we'll see what it is. We'll see what it ends up being.
Okay, it's fine.
And there's something where like directing, it's obviously so much of the work is like in the beforehand. So I feel like if you do really great pre-production and then you're like able to roll with the punches on set, like you can kind of end up with a product that you're more in control of. Whereas as an actor, because it's like I'm not as great of an actor as like some people I know who are just like amazing actors and can do it. Sometimes I'm like trying so hard to act well and I'm like, I know this is bad. I'm like not getting to do the thing I'm trying to do. Like it's difficult. Like there's more kind of like magic in it in the sense where it's not always like practically as a director, I can be like, I know if I put this light here, this camera here, make it sound like this, I can invoke this sort of feeling. And as an actor, you're being like your own personal vessel. Like you're really having to be vulnerable and try to like make your body and heart feel a certain way so they can come across on camera. And like, I just can't be doing that all the time.
Perfect timing for the siren. Oh, it went away again. Wow.
How long after you graduated did it take for you to work on your first feature?
It took years. I guess I graduated in 2018. Yes, I graduated in 2018, and then we shot the feature in 2024. So 6 years, which isn't bad.
That's pretty good.
Not bad for a girl with no talent. Woo!
No. But you made a lot of short films within that time.
Yeah, I think I made 7 shorts in that time, plus like a bunch of other kind of weirdo little stuff. I was always cooking up something. I was like, what can I film for $500 or less?
Well, I noticed you took a lot of the same collaborators that you worked on these shorts with, as I was watching through your work, into your feature. Maybe you can tell us a bit about that and like why you felt like that was such an integral part to your process.
I feel like pedagogically, one of the main things I think about on a film set is, are people going to be annoying? And sounds so obviously rude to say, but just obviously, as both of you know, when you're in a high stress environment where you're not feeling like physically comfortable, it's like cold or you're outside or this, and it's long hours and there's like a lot of money on the line and like a lot of stress. The last thing you need is someone you don't want to hang out with.
Yeah.
And you need to have people who are really nice and like really positive and are polite and are going to make the set a place that doesn't feel like a sad, toxic slump. So I feel lucky in the sense that I've kind of been able to curate like a group of people who I really like working with, who I really trust the quality of their work, and people also who I know, because obviously I'm making stuff with quite low budget still, or it's like sometimes we get a little bit of money. This project we might not have money. This one we might have more. But people who are willing to come up and give 100%, even if I can't give them 100% of what their day rate would be on like a massive union show. That's where Jonah is a great example, because I'm always kind of like, hey, you want to come make $200 inclusive of HST for this day? Yeah. Thankfully you say, yeah. But yeah, so we had a bunch of people who I was able to kind of plug into Young Female Playwright, which was also nice because it's people who, I mean, going from making shorts to a feature obviously is like a huge, like the workload really increases. So to have people who I know like trust me and are willing to kind of take chances on certain things, or when I go, no, it's going to be like this and it's going to be hard, but it'll be fun by the end of it, who are like, okay, Pony, we'll come and we'll do the movie with you.
I'd love to hear a bit about how the movie came to be. And I know you didn't write it, but how you became attached to it and why you chose that to be your first feature.
Yeah.
Wait, before we talk about the movie, can I ask something about the stingless bee?
Oh, yeah.
Because I watched that. I've never seen it before.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is crazy. What was that for? Or like, what was that? Like, you said like that it was 2021 when you did that. I thought it was like a school project or something.
No, it was during COVID, and do you guys know Mick Robertson?
Yeah.
So yeah, like Mick and Margaret have done like their shorts, and like they're doing really well as directors now. Mick,
I worked on their dog one. I did their dog one.
Oh yeah. Oh nice. Yeah. So during COVID, and they come from a theater background as well, they had gotten into Fringe, which was going to be online. And so they went and approached just like a bunch of artists, and they were like, oh, do you each want to make a little thing? And then we'll put it all together under like the theme. The theme was The Honeymoon is Over or something. So they were literally like, here's $100. Can you go and make a short film? So I just wrote it as a joke. Obviously, it's like the jokiest short film of all time. And then I was kind of like, Maddie, if I get us lunch and beer, like, do you want to make this movie? So we just shot it in one day on my camcorder, like very clearly in my apartment, just like in the park across the street. And it's funny because it's the most lo-fi thing I've ever made, but then it ended up like we premiered it at TIFF Next Wave, and it's like so funny to go to TIFF and like sit in like the big fancy theater and like that movie's playing next to all these people making like really intense movies. When I'm standing there, I'm like, yeah, so this was about the idea of if you were pretending to be BB Rexa, like what would she do?
Well, you can tell our listeners what the short is about.
Yeah, so the short is about a girl who has been catfishing as BB Rexa online and then is found out and canceled by the internet.
Great. I was going to say we love cancel culture here. We don't.
But, I mean, I love that cancel culture.
Yeah.
But namely, it's just, my friend Maddie, like wearing various outfits. And also I was kind of just like, hey, Maddie, like what if we do this movie where like you're so dumb And it's just you making an apology. You're like, I have to apologize. I'm a good person. I just made this one mistake.
That seems so topical for 2021 as well. I feel like that was the time where everybody on the internet was,
of course,
making those videos and crying into camera and being like, I'm so sorry.
Please
give me my career.
That's one of the biggest parts of my culture is YouTube dumb. Like I unfortunately yes. And I'm sorry. It's like I'm out here like I went to the Trisha Paytas show alone. Honey, I'm there by myself. I bought a ticket. I did an edible. I'm like watching her sing and dance. Like I've just like obviously watched YouTube since I was a kid. So there's something about the talking to a camera and apologizing on the internet that I find so deeply satisfying. So this was kind of my one foray into that.
It was so funny. And Maddie's amazing.
She's so good.
I love Maddie.
I love her in it too.
She's one of your close collaborators. She acts in like all your films.
She's like she's my best friend. And I'm like, you're the best and like nicest actor in the world. Also like, she's just awesome because she's so down. On my short, The Moon and Back, which Maddie is one of the co-stars in, and Jonah was doing the sound. There's like, I wrote all these things in the script where she had to be burping. And I like have a video of they're recording the wild burps, and she was drinking so much soda that she kept making herself puke from doing the burp. And I just have a video where I'm filming of you doing the sound. She keeps burping and you're literally like, that's enough. Like we have it. I think we have it because you're like getting kind of grossed out at her doing these massive burps.
It's like I didn't want her to throw up.
She did. She threw up a couple times.
Oh my God.
And then there was another scene where she was supposed to be puking, and I was like, oh, just like put this candy in your mouth and then drink some water and you can do that. But then she was like so committed to the fake vomit that then her body obviously started to actually vomit. So she's also vomiting in that.
Incredible directing power there.
Yeah, of course.
Like
she's like randomly, I've made her puke in a bunch of movies. And then whenever now we make a new movie, she's like, can I not be gross in this one? And I'm like, why? Because you're always having a puke and fart in them. Because I just like, she's like so down. And most actors like have an ego and like don't want to be puking. And she doesn't have that. Okay, you so long ago asked a question about the feature.
Let's go back to the feature. Yeah,
we'll loop back.
Yeah.
So the movie is called Young Female Playwright. It's about Millie, who is, in fact, a young female playwright. She's 26 years old and is having a big debut at Canada's National Theatre. And the play that she's written is like a dark family drama that deals with really heavy themes. And there's kind of an implication of like a familial sexual assault. And then the theater releases a press release talking about the play in which they call it a deeply personal story. So from that moment on, obviously all the people around Millie, like her parents start to kind of be like, what? Like, did this thing happen to you? There's a lot of panic that goes on, particularly around her uncle, who's kind of going, did this thing happen to you? And Millie goes, did this thing happen to me? And we see throughout the movie as things start to unravel. And it really at its core is about kind of like the accuracy of one's own recollection and like, is your memory something you can trust? There's all these themes of kind of like power and abuse in it, set in a very theatrical circumstance. So yeah, the movie itself is written by Ellie Moon, who is like a screenwriter and a playwright and an actor in Toronto, who I've known for a long time. We became friends during COVID via Instagram DMs and like kind of worked remotely on like a couple little things. But we had done a short film called Art Baby that, it premiered at Fantasia a couple years ago and like had a good experience working on that. And then she came to me one day and said, do you want to direct this feature film? Which was so crazy. Like they had a director attached who couldn't do it and they had secured various funding and whatnot. So I read the script and really loved the script and thought it was super interesting, which was half the reason why I said, sure, I can do this. And then the other half is I was kind of like, how crazy is it to have someone give you a feature film and say, we have the money to make this movie. Do you want to direct it? So that was something that was exciting. It was a big challenge because it was also the first time I've ever directed something that I didn't write. So that's a super unique experience. And it was challenging in the way where I had to remind myself like, okay, this isn't your thing that you wrote. You like need to follow the rules of the road. But Ellie was super great in terms of the flexibility of like the story editing and going through the script and curating things and adding ideas and saying, well, what about this sequence? What about this sequence? So it was definitely a challenge. But I think for a first feature, it was fairly cushioned in the sense that, like we said, I had a lot of people I really liked who worked on it. And it was fun and it was really quick and dirty. We shot it in like 13 days or something, which was short. The fact that the longest shoot I've ever had before was like 6 was so crazy. Like by the second half, I'm like, what? Like, we have to make more movies still? But that coupled with us doing, I don't know, like 10 pages a day, like it was so nuts.
It was pretty wild.
It was really nuts.
I'm glad that I have done things like that before.
Yes.
Like I had done a bunch of TV movies where you do it in 12 days.
Where you do it so quickly, yeah.
And like, yeah, I've just done so many things where it's like, you're going so quick. So I'm glad that it wasn't
you were
like,
prepared for it.
Yeah.
No, and it was good because I'm used to working in a similar way, like so run and gun, where I'm kind of like indie film. Okay, we have 2 days. Like we're going to shoot this in 2 days. And it's always so quick for short film. So I kind of felt like we were making an extended short film. And then it wasn't until we got to the edit where I went, okay, wow, like we shot so much stuff. Shot so much stuff, but I will say almost every single thing we shot is in that movie.
Yeah.
Like we had no options really for things, which was an interesting challenge. And my editor, her name's Mina Sewell Mancuso, who's like a really exceptional editor and is like so smart and good at what she does, was able to then craft this and keep it true to Ellie's story, but add in the things that were important to me, which was kind of like bumping up the humor in the script, making it a little bit more absurd in parts, doing things that made it kind of like fun and sparkly.
Yeah, I'm curious how much of that, you sort of alluded to it, was in the script and how much of that was sort of your take on it. Because you start the movie with this really beautiful dance number that really sets a tone, but is so different from the rest of the movie.
True.
I when I was watching, I was like, is this the right thing? Am I watching the right thing?
Did I get the right link?
And then you get into it and you're like, okay, I get it. Especially the way it, without spoiling it, ties into the ending.
Yeah.
I thought it was really beautifully done. But how much of that was from your brain and how much of that was sort of on the page?
A lot of it was on the page, not the opening dance number. That was something I pitched to Ellie because I love there's an opening dance number for My Best Friend's Wedding. Have you seen that movie? Guys, kind of a classic. You got to be watching My Best Friend's Wedding, Julia Roberts.
No.
Are you kidding? You got to watch this movie. It's like Julia Roberts at her best.
Okay.
But that movie opens with a complete non sequitur dance number where it's like a woman in a wedding dress and all of her bridesmaids on this like pink soundstage. And they're doing this really elaborate choreography. And then it goes to the movie and it's just never referenced or talked about again. So I was really interested in putting a dance number at the beginning of the film. And then from a theatrical standpoint, it kind of harkens back to literally like medieval theater when you would go see a play. Before the play started, they would do the like dumb show or whatever, and they'd have puppets be like, this is what's going to happen in the play, Romeo's going to die, Juliet's going to die, blah 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 blah. And I was kind of like, I want to do a dumb show. Like I want to have something before the movie that heightens the curve of absurdity to start, so then people already go, okay, this movie's theatrical, it's weird, anything can happen, we have these like 5 people in these blonde wigs, like let's start with that and then kind of go from there. So that was something that I was excited about adding. And then on set, we have a lot of really funny actors, even in scenes that weren't written to be so humorous. But it was great because while the character of Millie is someone who's like very serious and having this serious thing happen to her, the people around her are insane. So we worked with really funny people like Rodrigo, who you know, who's like one of the best comedians in Toronto. And before a take, I would kind of go to Rodrigo and be like, you can do whatever you want at the end of this. Like you can say whatever crazy this thing. Jake, my lover, is in the movie playing like her crazy coworker at the bookstore. And same with Jake. I was just like, you should be the worst person ever.
He was so good.
And he's so good in it because he's like so rude and like douchey and shitty. And I'm just like, yeah, Jake, you can ham that stuff up. So a lot of it was stuff that on the day we were kind of going, how can we make it more absurd and continue to make it feel heightened to like make it a stressful experience for the audience.
Yeah, the cast was great.
Yeah, it was really, it's kind of like an all-star, like Ellie is great in it. Like Karen Knox is amazing in it. And like Karen Knox, who's just like one of the coolest people and just like walks into a film set and is just like, whatever, and has her Nicorette gum and like is such a kind of like punk. Like she was awesome. We had some like older actors and it was exciting because I'd only ever really directed people our age before. And I'm so used to working with someone like Maddie, who's just like, of course, like I'll do the thing, like whatever. But now I was kind of going head to head with these like male actors in their 50s and 60s who are going, oh, but why do you want me to do that? And I had to like earn their trust and kind of earn their like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like they had to go, okay, we know you know what you're talking about. Now I'll try the thing you want me to try. So it was a good challenge in that too, as a director, to sort of have to like stretch my muscle and it was not just young people who are like, we believe in the idea. It was people who go, I'll believe in it, but you have to prove to me first that you know what you're talking about, and then I'll believe in it.
What were their names?
Some of the older actors, Colin Mockery, who's kind of like a little Canada comic legend, was in it.
Yeah.
Which was obviously awesome. I was just
so
like,
funny.
Hey, Colin, which was so sick. I have like a picture of me standing next to him when I'm like 14 and we like won some improv tournament in Calgary with
Did
my
you
high
show
school
him?
team. No, I had met him in Toronto before a couple years
okay.
after that. And I did tell him, I mean, it's funny because I think he just gets that from every single person he meets where they're like, I knew you from the show at this age. So I think it's so par for the course for him. Yeah. But he was just like one of the nicest, best.
So nice.
I could not believe how nice he was. And after our first day of shooting with him, he like texted me that night and was like, just so you know, I've been on a lot of sets and like, I really like how you run your set. It was a really good vibe. Like, thank you for having me. And I'm kind of like, this is awesome. Like, that's great. So he was awesome. We have Raoul in the movie who plays Kurt, who's like the artistic director of the theater. And like, he's a total legend. Like Jonas Chernick, who plays her uncle. Our DP, Ben's dad, plays Ellie's dad, Rick Roberts. He's a really fabulous actor. I was kind of like, wow, everyone should have their dad in the movie.
It's a family affair.
It was
Jake's
a family
mom.
affair. Jake's mom does play Jake's mom in the movie.
That was hilarious. So
Which was
funny.
like so awesome. That was a joke Ellie and I talked about when we were kind of going through the script and editing, where we were like, oh yeah, if we need to have this mom, like who could play the mom? And Jake's mom grew up acting and still does some acting. And I was like, well, I'll just ask Jake's mom. And she was like, of course. And then she's so good in it, obviously, because she's just like being herself. It's so cute.
Yeah. So obviously Ellie wrote the script, and then when she brought you on, did you kind of redo some things or like kind of adjust things? And
We went through it together. And it's still very much her writing and her voice. But there was sections where I was like, oh, I wonder about adding this or like what this thing would be. Or there was even parts where I was kind of going like, oh, I don't understand this. Like you explain to me how you're picturing this thing so then I can start to understand it. Like obviously in the film, there's those kind of like dreamy sequences where it's like her in the theater and little things sort of being revealed. And that was something that we went through and kind of just like coalesced together and figured out. The dance thing, I said, I want to have a dance number.
cool.
And then it was at the beginning and we had a lot of talk in the edit where people would be like, the dance is too long. The dance is this. And I was kind of like, I got to say, guys, the most important thing to me randomly in this movie right now is the dance. I like love the dance, and all of the dancers in it are from the company that I work with and like some of my best friends. And it was so great. It was the very last thing we shot. We like had the dancers come in, they're wearing their wigs, they have their like little butts out in their thongs, and they just were so good. And it was awesome because everyone's kind of tired. It's like the last day of the shoot. And the first time they did the dance, I just like look at all these like big dudes on the crew and everyone's like, it's awesome. They're like clapping. They love it.
Yeah, I didn't have to do anything there. So
You didn't
I was
have to
just
do
like,
anything.
well, I was just sitting up.
You're like, perfect. And
Just-
go have a glass of wine,
yeah.
hang out. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I love that dance number, but I'm a sucker for dance numbers in movies that
Of
don't
course.
like innately need them in the script. Not that it wouldn't need it, but like you wouldn't expect it from some other directors.
Yeah, I think it's so important also to the like theatricality of the film. And I mean, Ellie came up in theater and I spent my whole life working in theater. So it's also sometimes fun to have something that's like a bit gratuitous almost, but like does set a tone. And it's funny that they all have wigs of her hair. I like got these wigs. Our DP Ben, his girlfriend Steph, works in wigs. And I was like, I have no money. If I buy Steph a bottle of wine, will she cut these like 5 wigs for me? And obviously she did and did a great job.
Nice.
I don't know where any of the wigs ended up. If anyone has one of those wigs,
Oh, I still
congrats.
have. I have
He's
one.
wearing it right now.
Oh, you look beautiful
Thanks.
in your elf
Your
costume.
little cute elf costume. Yeah, it's incredible. You can put the boom pole down though. You don't need to
Yeah,
wear
you don't
that
have,
as
you
a
don't
part
have
of the
to
costume.
hold it. You can sit.
Okay, thanks.
But
We're gaslighting you.
it was interesting to hear about your connection to the internet as like a creator growing up, because one of the most like stopping moments for me in your movie was when she's sitting in bed and going through those comments, and you put the commenters in bed with her.
Yeah.
Was that in the script? Was that something that you pulled up? Because it felt so real. And people don't realize that they're literally getting into bed with people when they're talking about them on the internet.
Totally. No, that was in the script. Yes, that was in the script to have that we were going to see the commenters. I forget if it was set in the bed, but we were always going to see them. They were always going to be doing a direct address to camera. And then when we ended up shooting it, like, again, we were working so quickly. It was like a bit of a stressful moment, but it was so fun because we were kind of like, okay, who are some like weird, cool Toronto people we can get to sit on this bed? So obviously Miles, who you know, we had Leah, who's kind of like an indie Toronto queen. My friend Nastasia, we met this like really great actor, comedian Francis, and they came and I was sort of like, okay, we're going to shoot this thing in 20 minutes and do it direct to camera. But I love how it turned out. Also, I think it like really kind of drives home the like surrounding external pressure that she's feeling and like what she's going through and that.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite aspects of the film too, is like when people are talking to the camera, like the journalist guy.
Yeah.
And like, it's an interesting way to do that kind of thing instead of like reading it off the screen or like putting text up. Like it's so much more interesting to do it.
It's
that
true.
way.
And it's like, I don't know if we'll ever figure out how to put text in movies, like text and technology in movies.
Yeah.
And anytime I have a movie where there's text in it, it's hard. Even in this, like we do some filming of the screen, which is so hard to make look awesome. It's something that I'm like, I'll figure this out one day. I'll be old and wake up and be like, this is how you put the text on the screen.
Crack the code. Yeah.
But a movie that does it really well as a direct-to-camera address is Zola. Have you seen that movie, Zola? Which I love, which is like literally based on a Twitter thread. And it was written by Jeremy O'Harris, who's like an awesome playwright. Riley Keogh's in it. It's so good. You should watch this movie. But they're like reading tweets to camera in like such a crazy way. It's like about strippers on a road trip. I love this movie.
Cool.
So yeah, that's definitely an influence there.
Cool. When you were talking about some of the cast and like Rodrigo, for example, like he's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember we were doing one of his first scenes in the hallway where I think it was the one where he's like with the flowers?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And I didn't record a take. Do you remember that?
No. Wait, no, I do.
And you were like, don't tell anybody. But now we can tell people.
We can tell people. No, I do remember that. That is kind of so my motto on set is that I'm like, if something's going wrong, I'm like, you don't need to tell anyone. I'm like,
I needed to tell you.
You had to,
so
of
that
course.
we could go again. But
you had to tell me, but then I go,
But
as a
it's
director, I'm like, we don't need to make
nobody
anyone
needs to
upset, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like until the building is literally on fire, I'm like, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. We'll figure it out.
yeah, but I felt so bad because he's so good. I mean, so is that like everyone's so good.
Yeah.
So it like sucks to miss a performance because it's kind of different every time.
It's like he could be
And,
funny though for like 17 hours in
Yeah.
a row. Like, I don't think he runs out,
yeah.
which is good.
Yeah. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know. I find him really funny.
Yeah,
It's okay.
me too.
I feel like he'll forgive you.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I liked how you shot the movie. It's like there's a lot of cool kind of oneer
Mm-hmm.
moments and like, you know, panning from one room to the other or
Yeah.
like just different angles and like cool creative things, which is difficult when you're on a tight schedule
Yeah.
to do creative things like that. So I'm glad that you were able to do that and that it came through in the movie. I'm a big sucker for oneers, and there was a lot, like some scenes that maybe were just one shot or some scenes that had, you know, just like stayed on one shot for a while.
Yeah.
And like, I love that.
Yeah, it's always a risk to try to just we'll do it in one. Because, and this was actually something I kind of learned on the Moon movie where we had a scene that ended up getting cut from the film that was just like one very slow push as they're talking at the table. And then the problem became in the edit, all the feedback we were getting, everyone's like, well, that part's boring. Maybe can you cut half of it? And I'm like, well, we actually can't cut half of it because there's nothing to cut away to. But I mean, Ben Roberts, who shot the movie, he is like one of the most ultimate cinephiles of all time. So he's best friends with Jake, my lover. Shout out to him. I keep saying lover in like a way because it's just because like we're engaged, but we're not married. But when I go like fiance, it's like I sound like a dick. But then to say lover, I'm like, I sound more like a dick.
Lover works across the board. You can
Yeah.
be
Lover.
just starting to date.
It's
you can
true.
be, you know, senior citizen. You
Hot
can
and
be,
heavy. It's true. It's a
I
good,
love
it's
you,
a good
Jake.
one. I love you, Jake, too. Say
I love you, Jake.
I love seeing him in commercials.
He's always in, it's like turn on your TV. He's in every commercial. That's like his bread and butter. But so him and Ben are longtime best friends. And it's like you name any movie, they've seen it. They're the most like well-watched people literally I've ever met.
You got to get him on the podcast.
You got it. I'm sorry, Ben would be great on your podcast. And he's a very good director as well. So he is interesting because his references kind of like eat my references for breakfast, where I'll be like, well, I want it to look like that. He's like, oh, you mean like in the 1975, this film? So we really like shot listed the absolute fuck out of this movie for a long, long time. And we like definitely talked about like, I don't know, do you guys ever watch Robert Altman movies? So like I had seen the movie Three Women and I like loved it. It's so kind of fucked up. And I loved the way that movie was shot. So we had a lot of discussion where I was like, it has to look like Three Women. Like, how do we do that? But we shot listed it together forever and ever. And then our AD, Emma Jackson, who also was our script supervisor. It's kind of like I like made up the world's hardest job for her. She like scheduled our movie in a way where I like don't know how she did it, but we were scheduled to the minute every single day. And we never lost anything. We never had to cut anything. Her and I would be standing there like so panic whispering to each other and being like, if we don't finish this in the next 1 minute, we have to cut the next thing. And we're like, okay, no problem, no problem. We were like always whispering, and then it made it like it was able to work out. Yeah. But yeah, I love how the movie looks, and I'm proud of the fact that we were able to like have some kind of more artistically like inclined shots. Because I think sometimes in Canadiana film, it's a bit like, here's the two, here's the over the shoulder, here's the this. Yeah. And we were able to get some coverage that was a bit funkier, which is important to me. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that about the movie because it's just like unique and different. And like, yeah, that makes it interesting. And
yeah.
Every review of Millie's play in the movie is just a projection of other people's problems with the world and themselves.
Yeah.
And again, back to like your hyper online nature, I felt like that was very relevant. I connected to that a lot.
Yeah.
Because so much of the discourse online, if you open a TikTok comment section, even for something less, artistic than an actual play, people are still screaming into the void, and it's so clearly just a reflection of what they're dealing with.
Yeah, totally. She has a really great line in the movie that she says to her uncle where she's like, it's not about you, and it doesn't say anywhere that it does. And even if like you think it is, that's not my problem, which is, I think, really accurate. And it is like that hyper kind of sensitivity that people experience online where everyone wants everything to be like kosher and kind of created in their like to their liking. So then when something's not, it's hard for that to be digestible.
What is your relationship to ego in your art? And
well, where I feel lucky is that because my family is not hyper artistic, though my parents will be like, oh, we're so proud of you. That's a big accomplishment. Like my family has not watched this movie. When I last time I was visiting them in Calgary, I think I was like, do you guys want to watch it? I think I showed them the first like 25 minutes and then they're like, well, we have to do something else now. So not that they're not supportive of my thing. Although I will say when my dad watched the Moon movie, it's a 12-minute movie. He fell asleep 2 times.
Oh.
And then when he woke up, he said, do you want notes? I said, respectfully, no.
Sounds like a studio producer.
Yes, I'm like, so they're definitely supportive in other ways, but they just don't value it in the same way, which I think is good. Like I remember going to this guy's house in the theater school, this like older actor, and the walls of his parents' house had every like award he had won since the 2nd grade, being like nicest in class or whatever. And there was like a shrine to him. It's actually something we touch on in the film where we like have a shot when they're like entering Millie's parents' house for the first time where it pans around. There's like 1 million pictures of her. And I said to Ellie, I'm like, oh, we should have 1 million pictures of Millie because it's funny if her parents like loved her too much. And it's also good. Sometimes I say to Jake, I'm like, I wish you didn't work in film and you were like an accountant or something, because then you'd be really impressed with me. If I was like, yeah, babe, we're playing at the Mammoth Lakes Film Festival, he'd be like, that's amazing, babe. But because he knows like the context of everything, he'll just be like, oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, that's awesome. But he's not like blowing smoke up my ass, which I think is nice. Because I think if he didn't get it as much, he would be like, that's so cool. But I do say to him sometimes, I'm like, I wish you were a banker so you were more impressed with my accomplishments.
Aww. Well, I find it fascinating that you purposefully tried to do that bit of a shrine thing in Millie's house, because something that I noted was that, at one point her mom mentions that everything that's going bad at the moment is because of her. Mm-hmm. And having people who have supported you sort of turn on you during your success
Yeah.
is a very singular, but I think very accurate thing, especially around our age, where
Yeah.
I find that popping up more and more as like, even like with the little wins or like chasing after certain dreams that slightly inconveniences somebody else in your
Yeah.
life. So I'm interested to know if you've experienced that with, you know, having done your first feature, if people have ever tonally shifted around you, or because
I don't think I've had that happen to me, but I will say I feel like I operate in a pretty small circle where I'm like, I kind of have my like 3 best friends who are just like nice and they're like, yay, you did your thing. And then the rest of it, I don't know. Maybe they have turned on me and I'm not sure. No, I don't think anyone's turned on me.
I have.
Yeah, except for Jonah. That's like what we're fighting about. He's like,
Yeah, right now we're in a fight.
we're in a fight. And he's like, ever since you blew up, like it's just been so different.
that blue check mark's really,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't have the blue check mark because now you can just pay to get it. So I'm like, well, that makes you. I'm kind of like, I don't need the blue check mark.
Invalidates it completely.
A bit. I'm writing this grant right now to make a short for like so much money because my new thing is I'm like, if I made all these shorts for $0, I'm like, imagine I had $100,000 to make a short. Like, fuck it. This is my attitude. And just so you know, I only got this attitude 2 days ago when I started writing this grant. But when I was looking at the budget, I'm like, wow, the money goes so quick. But I think the difference is it's scheduled to a T on a big film set, but they have so many people doing the jobs that it's not like just me being like, okay, so I am producing and directing, and I'm also running here, and then also like we're filming in my literal apartment. The toilet's clogged. That person's mad because their food wasn't this. Blah 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 blah. I feel like on the big film set, at least it's like Emerald Fennell isn't like worried that someone's like upset because like they don't the coffee ran out, and like I'm like texting someone being like, can you please get that person a fucking coffee because like I'm worried they're mad at me.
And they have buffer money. Like,
imagine
if we go over, you know, we have the money for that.
We have like opposite buffer money, which is where I'm like, I go and look at my savings account. I'm like, I could license a song with this.
But it reminded me when you were talking about that on the show that I just was on. It was like a Netflix show.
Yeah.
There was a conversation that was had that I overheard where it was like, every 3 minutes we lose a setup. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy.
It just is funny because it's like so dramatic and it feels so dramatic. And then when you take 15 steps away, you're like, well, everyone's so stressed out about what?
It's not like life or death.
I know.
I mean, it's a lot of money, I guess, that's being put around.
No,
but,
it's always a lot of money at stake.
It's just, but what we're actually doing is...
It's a different thing.
Yeah.
It feels important though when you do it, or at least your body thinks it does. Like I cried, I'm going to say 10 out of 13 days. I would at lunch, I would go and find Jake, who I made do the DIT, obviously. That's his unpaid gig he does for all my jobs. And I would go find him and I'd be like, I have to cry for 15 minutes. I'm so stressed. And then I would come back out and be like, whoop, okay, we're back, everyone. Like, do.
And what was it that was bringing you to the
To
if
tears?
you want to share, you don't have to.
I think just like stress and the fact that it's like just you're always trying to manage a lot of personalities and and this is maybe a girl thing, sorry. And like my whole life is me talking about like the difference between being like a male or female director and even if it's not true, but this is like the chip I got on my shoulder right when I started directing was I'm kind of like, these boys don't think I know what I'm doing. Actually, with Breaking Up for the Modern Girl, the first thing I directed after university, I felt such a wave of young boys on that set, like undermining me and undermining my like craft and my ideas because they didn't trust me because I was a girl.
It's true.
And
Men are horrible.
Men are horrible. And I'm sorry, it's like I've had so many experiences with men on film sets where they literally do not respect me when I'm talking, even if it's my film set. So I've kind of like set this impossible precedent for myself where I go like, I have to do what a dude would do on this set. So when we were filming the Moon movie, we were filming in the middle of a literal blizzard. It was like so cold. It's a crazy outside. I'm standing there and Jake obviously is there. Shout out Jake. Jake's like, why don't you go inside and warm up for 5 minutes? And I looked at him, I'm like, I can't go inside because a male director wouldn't go inside. And even though we're making that movie with like you and like my friends, I'm like, for me to prove to these men that I am worthy of their respect as a director, I have to stay out here and be cold. So I think I have a lot of self-imposed stress on a film set where I'm worried people are mad at what I'm doing, which again, I don't think men worry about if people are mad at them when they're directing. Maybe you, because you're nice. But
You
I
clock
like
that in my eyes.
Yes, you're like, well, no, I worry about that. But I think most men don't, especially in the commercial world. They're like, who the fuck cares? Like, whatever.
Completely. Yeah.
So I'm on that film set being like, not only do we have such limited time, money, so many shots to get, but I also want to make sure that everyone leaves at the end of this day. And if I ask them to work for me tomorrow, they will say yes. That's like my whole thing. I'm like, I don't want people to think I suck. I want people to have a positive experience. Yes, I want the movie to be good, but I also don't want it to be like shitty and upsetting.
I'm sorry. I wish men weren't like that.
It's okay. A lot of them are not. And a lot of them are.
And that's why you found the circle of collaborators like we were talking about earlier
Totally,
that you keep
yeah.
around, because then you go into that set and you don't have to worry so much about the thought of like you annoying somebody, because they are your friend and that
They're your friends and they like get your thing. And I mean, it was a big discussion on the feature where my amazing AD is not a yeller. And I'm also like, I don't need people to yell on a film set. And it was a discussion I was having with certain members of the crew where they were like, your AD is not yelling, so we don't know when to stop working. And I was like, you do. If she says, hey, we're stopping, she doesn't need to yell. Because also I'm like, I don't need yelling in the room. Like, that's so stressful. It's already stressful. And it was just, again, I'm kind of like, pedagogically, we don't fucking yell on my film set. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be a dick to make people listen. And I get that usually it's like, obviously the AD, everyone's like, it's the worst enemy, bleep, bleep, bleep. But I'm like,
But no.
especially on like an indie film set, I'm like, if we're filming in my apartment, no one needs to yell. It's my apartment. Like, I'm poor. Like, it's not big. Okay. Like, you can hear me. Like, we're standing right there.
Yeah, people just have to listen a little better.
It's really not needed at
No,
all.
it's not needed. And then it
not.
creates this culture where it's like people are like upset and on edge and whatever. And I would way rather someone go home and be like, that was fun, than go home and be like, this guy yelled at me and this person was rude to me and this whatever. Like, I just like so don't fuck with that, especially in the world of indie filmmaking when, yes, there's money on the line, but there's not millions of dollars on the line. Like for Go Piss Girl, when we were shooting that was like so fun because every single person on that set was nice. No one was being like, I didn't even have one single problem on that film set. It's like I was the problem. It's like I was the most annoying person there, which is how I like it.
Then you're doing your job.
Then I'm doing my job. Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to give a shout out to our best friend Louie, who did the post sound on the feature, and
He did.
he's done a bunch of the other shorts as well.
He did the Moon movie and he's doing Go Piss Girl.
Oh, nice. And he's just the best ever. And I'm always like so excited when he gets to do the post for the sound that I record, because I'm like, I know it's in good hands.
It's coming from good hands and going to good hands. Yeah, Louis great. The crazy thing is I've only ever met him one time.
Well, I've never met him before.
Oh, you've never met him
I've never
either?
met him either.
I thought you
I've never
were-
met him at all.
Oh, I thought
We're
you were
just
like
friends
friend.
we're just email friends.
Because he's my email friend too.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird with film? I have so many people who I'm
know.
like, I've met him one time at a party and I was like, thank you for
Yeah.
doing all of this stuff.
But he always does an amazing job.
He's really good.
And like with the feature, we were in a lot of bad sound situations.
It was so windy. It was the
And-
windiest October of all time. We were always outside.
But even just like the noise, and like, remember like the main one that I think of is the park scene, where there was literally a bunch of school children that just got let out playing at the park right behind us.
I don't know how he did that.
I was like, yeah, it was just like,
There was
I'm so
a million
happy
kids
that-
on the playground. There was also a man like playing the
Oh
saxophone.
yeah, no, it was like a
Or
tuba.
a
It was
tuba.
a tuba.
Did you have to pay him?
No,
I
he
was kind of like,
waited.
we
He
should.
waited.
Well, I literally went and I said to that man, I'm like, this is a public park. I was just like, I love you. Just don't play for 10 minutes. I was like, just stop. Literally 10 minutes. And then we're going to go. Then you can play the tuba all day. And he'd be like, sure, sure. And then 1 minute later, he's like,
I have handed people cash, like on things where
course.
I don't have the budget, or I'm just
Yeah.
like, here's $50. Please go away for
Yes.
30 minutes.
I believe in that.
You'll
I
make
so
more
believe
right
in
now.
I believe in that. And I'm like, I want someone to give me $50 to go away.
I'll do that for a living.
Yes, of
I'll just
course.
keep going around.
I'll just be
until-
on film sets until someone's like,
be
please leave.
Here's some money. Go
Here's some
away."
money. Go away from
A day
this.
rate to not be there.
It's so funny.
But Louis did a great job.
He did a really
and it
great
made
job.
it work. And yeah, I did everything I could to try and make it work for him. I had a boom microphone and I pointed it at the children. So I had a track of just the children, which is a tactic that I learned. When you have a noise, point the like have
Just
a
have the
have
noise,
a separate
yeah.
have a separate track that's just the noise,
Yeah.
where you don't hear the dialogue, because then they can use that to like you
Make a
obviously have to
blanket with it, yeah.
embrace the noise a little bit, but it helps to like smooth out the edits and like
Yeah.
make it work and stuff, where you're like not necessarily getting rid of the noise, but you're kind of putting it in there, and it helps like
And
kind
it
of smooth
works
it out.
particularly well in that scene because that's Millie talking to her uncle and being like, when I was a kid, like when you were younger, like it actually kind of adds like a really
Yeah.
fucked up layer to be like, oh, nothing bad ever happened between
Yeah.
us, right? And you like hear the sounds of children making noise.
Yeah.
I mean, when you shoot a movie on location, I'm just like, there is noise, which I
Yeah.
actually like though. Like there's a scene when she's on
yeah.
the phone, like we were on College Street and it was like so
Oh, yeah,
stressful and
yeah,
there's
yeah,
construction. I like that in the movie because
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
fun.
oh, she's stressed out. She's on the phone.
Yeah.
That's so classic Toronto. Anywhere you go, you're like, I can't
Yeah.
fucking hear. Like there's
Yeah.
like
Well,
some crazy noise.
Yeah, there was like a few movies that I have done recently. One was Box Cutter, which was
Oh, I
like,
want to see that.
It's really good. It's on Crave. You
yeah, it
can
does
watch
look
it.
good.
And that was all over the city. We were going, and then this one that I did called Middle Life,
Yeah.
and that one was also like around the city. And what I've learned from doing those ones in your movie is like, it's okay if there's noise. You're
Yeah, they
like,
don't live in a
you're
vacuum.
in a city, so it's okay if you hear the city noise, as long as their voices are intelligible and you can understand what they're saying. Then it's okay if you hear the city
You're
noise.
laughing.
Like it's part of the movie. Like it's part of the setting. It's okay.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Otherwise, we're gonna sit there all day and
Which like I can't. I literally
no.
can't.
So it's
We
like you
don't have time.
just gotta go with it. But
Yeah.
thanks to Louis for making it sound good.
Thanks, Louis.
I mean, obviously, so much of indie filmmaking is dancing around restrictions and what you can't do. Was there anything that you really wanted to do with this movie that you feel like you couldn't?
Oh.
Was there like a baby that you had to toss to the curb?
My dream would be if I had more money that everyone would get paid so much more, obviously. But in terms of like creatively, no, we're honestly able to kind of make it all happen. Like all of our department heads, I say department heads, like they had anyone working underneath them. I was like, so Jill, who did the wardrobe and was the only person who did it, everyone was like really smart with the budget. And like Jill was able to kind of like borrow, like steal, not actually steal, but a bunch of like great clothes, like location wise. I was just like haggling with places. Like we shot at the Paradise Theater where I worked at for like 2 or 3 years at the restaurant right next door. So they let us shoot in there for virtually no money. Like I just like paid cash to them, which was really nice just for like my friends and coworkers who were so graciously let us shoot there. Like the dressing room she's in, that's at TMU. The lobby of the theater, that's at TMU. And I went, hey, I work here. Like, can I please shoot this thing for free? So it was able to work out. There was nothing that was so lost. I mean, I think if I had a ton of money to make a feature next time, I would just like want more time. You just want more time and you want to be able to like pay people more.
What was my question? My question was going to be, give me a sec. I'm just going to stretch it out. Let it come out of me naturally.
It's okay. Don't.
I'm wondering if there's like a magnum opus that you have in mind as a filmmaker at like a relatively early part of your career. Is there somewhere where you can see yourself being like, this is it. This is what I wanted to get to.
Wow.
You asked me if there was any big questions you have to think about.
I'm like, why didn't you tell me about the magnum
I
opus?
didn't know that one was coming.
We're coming up on the fly with that one.
I guess like I'm really thinking about it.
Yeah, take your time.
My dream in life is to make enough money that I can like live in a nice house. It doesn't have to be so crazy, but like kind of nice. I like those sunken living rooms, like a weird, like mid-century modern kind of freaky house. And I would like to be able to just like work when I want to work and like write scripts that people think are funny and not feel stressed about paying my rent. That's my main dream in this life. Sad dream. Creatively though, I mean, there's so much awesome stuff that is coming out nowadays that is like made at a really high level in terms of its craft, but it's like so funny and stupid in terms of its content. Like I loved that movie Friendship. Did you guys see that?
Oh my God.
Like the
yeah.
Andrew
did.
DeYoung movie.
That was great.
So after I watched that, then I was just like, shut the hell up, like that you guys made this. And then watching the
Have
Chair
you seen
Company.
The new Marvel?
The new Marvel?
That's like
Oh, that's from. Oh, wait, that's his name. He goes, "Have you seen the new Marvel? It's supposed to be nuts." Yeah, Jake and I were doing that. I thought you were asking me if I've seen the new Marvel.
thought so,
to which
too.
I was like, respectfully, no. Well, I watched
There is
that,
no new
and then
Marvel.
when I watched the Chair Company, I was
my
just kind of
God.
like, "Have you watched the Chair Company?"
No, I
Yeah.
You got. It's just. I mean, I like love Tim Robinson.
It's the
I,
same
I
guy.
do too. I love
And it's like, yeah, Andrew DeYoung, it's the same guy.
God.
But I like love that they're like shooting these like so kind of like stupid, but like very heart wrenching
Yeah.
like comedies, but they look amazing and they're like shooting on film.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to shoot on like crazy, like get me that 70 millimeter, like let me shoot on something so expensive and nuts, have it be really funny, kind of fucked up and like smart and look nice and have like good people be a part of it. That's like my dream.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they filmed the Chair Company on film.
I think it's shot
I think.
on film.
Yeah, I think you're right.
comedy on
It was
film
so
sounds like a
good. It was
goddamn
so good.
nightmare.
No, to
It looked
me,
amazing.
I go do it. That's my thing with this new short I'm pitching is I go, I want to shoot on film. I'm like, let me shoot on film. Anything. It just like, it looks so good. I'm
It
like,
does. It
It just,
does.
and you can't fake it. I used to be like, put the grain on it. I'm like, you can't.
Does it work with your process? Do you do a lot of improv on set?
Well, this is my thing. I've never directed on film before. So I actually don't know.
But like when you're doing it digitally, do you like to stick to the page or do you, because you were
No.
mentioning that you were like, you throw this in at the end, like have fun with it.
Yeah.
Is
No,
that-
I think when I'm directing, I'm kind of going like the script is not so much with the feature because that wasn't my writing. When I write it, I go, you can throw the script away. Like, who cares? The script is like fun to start. And there's our particular things that like I want to hit, but I'll kind of be like, hit it one time. And then like, usually your idea as the director is never the best idea in the room. It's always like the actor is so much funnier than you are. Or like Jake will be standing beside me at the monitor and he's like, they should say this. And then I'll be like, how do you say that? And everyone's like, that's such a funny joke, Pony. And I'm like, yeah, totally. My funny joke. So I don't know how conducive it is to shooting on film. Cause obviously it's kind of like time is money, money is time. But I'm kind of like, I think I
gotta
could
do
do
it.
it. I
Yeah.
think you could do it.
yeah.
And then it's just like you watch something like Sinners and you're like, the way that movie looks,
Oh.
I'm like, that's beyond, like, it would just be amazing. I always say this to Jake, where I'm like, if I had so much money to make a movie, I'm sorry, like, I could be brilliant. I'm like, if you gave me so much money, I could do something like actually incredible.
Yeah.
Which is what everyone thinks about their stuff.
But
I
it's
go,
true.
but who cares? And I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm like making stuff where it's like, I would love to do another take, but I can't because we can't afford this. We can't do this and whatever. So I would love to make something where money is not the obstacle. Then other things will become the obstacle.
Yeah.
But I do think these like funky Norwegian filmmakers, like I'm always talking about Christopher Borgli, but like the stuff that he does is like so deeply fucked up, but like very smart and very funny. It's shot on film. It looks amazing. And it's stuff where I'm like, I don't know how they gave you the money to do this. Like, I don't know how they approved this movie and this movie, but that's what's fun. It's like, you got to kind of prove people wrong.
I'm always an obstacle.
Yeah. And it's like, he's weird on set. Like, he's like, I'll get cookies. He eats all the cookies. Like, no one else gets a cookie. Like,
I will always be an obstacle no matter how much money you have.
that's fine. You can be an obstacle, but then I'm like, maybe you shoot one scene in a day, not 4 scenes. Like, then it's like, that's
Yeah.
fine. We'll figure it out.
Do you have any advice for young female filmmakers that might be going into maybe their first feature, maybe their first shorts?
Yeah, totally. I'm like, quit. Don't do it. Don't say that. Cut that part out.
We're leaving that in because that's a real feeling. Like your first jump was like, don't do it. And I hear that a lot from
Yeah.
people that have made it and have been chasing this thing for a long time. They go, don't do it because you're going to keep chasing that
Yeah.
ball that keeps rolling down the hill.
I guess you should remember that it's supposed to be fun because it is supposed to be fun. B, just try stuff out. Who cares? If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. Like, also, especially if you're making a short film, I'm like, whatever, girl. Like, literally nobody cares but you. Which brings me to C, which is you are gonna be the person who cares the most about your thing always, no matter what, especially when you're just starting to make stuff. So you should really care about your idea, and you should also remember to kind of like be your own biggest champion, because no one's going to like it as much as you do. And like the stakes of making a short film are that you make it or you don't make it. So if it's not fun and it sucks and it's bringing you great duress, then don't do it. But if it's like sparking something fun, you get to hang out with your friends, you get to try stuff out, then do it. Who cares? Just try.
Okay.
Also, I would say write the movie you want to make, even if you don't know how you would direct it, which is what I kind of learned when I made the Moon movie, which it was the first time that I wrote something where I was like, then who knows how the hell I would make that, haha. And then when I got a little bit of money to make it, I was like, oh fuck, now I have to figure out how to like suck this astronaut off the face of the earth. How am I going to do that? But it's a great challenge and you'll figure it out. You'll do the creative problem solving later.
I was literally just like, an example would be, how do you lift up an astronaut?
Well, literally, which then I'm like, how do you do that? You put her on like a piece of plywood and have your gaffer lift her in the air and film her from behind. Like that's all you do.
I love that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Incredible. Well, thank you for taking the afternoon to speak with us. It was so nice to meet you.
It was so nice to meet you, Jonah. I hope we work it out.
Yeah, hopefully we're not fighting.
I hope we're not fighting. Thanks so much for
after.
having me, guys.
Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you so much. This was so cool. So fun.
Thank you.
I hope you. Oh, wait. Do that again.
Oh, the kiss? Ready?
Oh, can you say outro music?
No,
And-
say
Do
thank
that.
you.
Mwah.
Moi, outro music.
Thank you. Mwah. Outro music.